few years back, one of our Growth Factor students ran her very first event. 2 treatment rooms, no team behind her yet, just her, and a room full of her best patients and a plan. That one event brought in $68,000. Her name is Allison, and if you had told her a few years earlier that a solo working out of a 2-room space could pull in $68,000 out of one event, she probably would have laughed at you. I know this for a fact because she told me as much sitting right across from me on this very show. Well, hello, my dears. Daniela here, and welcome to Spa Marketing Made Easy. Okay, here is what I want to do with this episode. I don't just want to start with a big, bold headline like that and share Allison's numbers and then move on, because a number by itself doesn't teach you anything. I want to build the thing with you. I want to walk you through the framework for events as we are getting very close to Q4, right? Q4 is, for most people in spa, Q4 and Q1 are the 2 busy seasons. And it's also Q4 specifically is oftentimes when we are hosting events. And I wanted to kick off with Allison's story because half of that revenue came from her downsell. And the downsell is such an important part of events, whether you're doing a mini event like a peel party or an open house. Without the downsell, you are leaving money on the table. In Allison's case, she would have left over $30,000 on the table. That is serious cash. Now, if you're already running quarterly events and doing respectable numbers on the day, think back to your last one. Did anyone call the people who didn't buy? Did anyone call the people who did just to check in? If the answer is no, you already know there's a second event's worth of revenue just sitting in that same room, waiting on a phone call that nobody has made yet. Now, in last month's issue of Growth Factor magazine, we did a beauty bomb on chemical peels. And if you offer chemical peels, you know why this is one of the strongest anchor services in your business right now. There's a low time investment, there are real results, and there's a natural series built in. With fall being peel season, patients are done with summer sun damage. They're ready to shed the dead before the holidays hit, which means the next few weeks are exactly when you want to build something just like this. Now, I'm going to walk you through a peel event as a vehicle because it's the seasonal fit and the margins are excellent. But whatever event model you choose, much of the process from a high level will be the same. One goal, one offer, a real date, and a week after that you treat like half of the event. That's the downsell. Build this with peels if that's your anchor service, or build it with whatever your most profitable offer is that serves your ICA. But remember, the event isn't the whole strategy. The event is what brings your best patients into a room. What you do in the 7 days after is where that real number lives when I'm talking about the downsell. Okay, so let's walk through this framework. With phase 1, we're going to pick a goal and build an offer that nobody has to think twice about, an irresistible offer. So before anything else, decide what the event is for. Are we looking for a cash infusion? Are we trying to fill a new provider's calendar? Are we introducing a new product or service? Pick one of those, just one, because an event trying to accomplish 3 goals at once accomplishes none of them well. Now, every time I ask a student of ours, they say, well, I want all 3. Like, of course you do, but the offer is going to be different if we are trying to get a cash infusion rather than trying to get patients to join a membership. A membership may have lower cash collected up front, but can have a higher cash impact longer term. So we need to create the offer that aligns with the goal. So let's say that we want a cash infusion going into Q4. So we're going to host a peel party in October with our focus is on selling peel packages. The sale of the package gives us the cash up front, but do not forget that you still have to fulfill. So you want to manage that cash flow. Okay, now once you've got the goal, here's the build step by step. So step 1, you've got to decide on your room capacity. Okay, so how many treatment spaces and providers do you have available that afternoon? You've got to cap your invite list at the number and set the designated treatment times. Okay. If you're doing 2 rooms, I recommend staggering the times. Step 2, you want to price the ticket. So sell a ticket to the event, not a peel on file. Something under $100 works well against a treatment that normally runs closer to $150. So an Environ Cool peel runs around 25 minutes to perform. It costs around $149 on a normal day, carries a consumable cost low enough that even a $99 ticket with a complimentary treatment and 15% off skincare built in still will protect your margin once you account for the retail attached to it. Now, step 3, I want you to be explicit about what the ticket buys. It's entry into a specific event, a complimentary treatment included, plus the retail discount. Nothing is vague, nothing is implied. Now, step 4, build your real profit margin with the series upsell. A 3-peel and a 6-pill package priced and ready to present the moment someone's in the chair, since peels deliver their best results in a series anyways, right? So this is the offer that turns a $99 ticket into a client who just committed to 3 or 6 future visits. So let's do some quick math so that this feels real instead of theoretical. All right. So 15 people show up. It's a $99 ticket. That's already $1,485 before anyone gets into the treatment room. Now, let's say half of those 15 say yes to the 3-peel package on the spot because you built step 4 into your offer and you're presenting it at the appropriate time. Even at a modest package price, that's real revenue sitting on top of your ticket sales. And in the same afternoon, and that's before phase 3 even starts. That's before a single downsell call. Now, I want you to sit with that for a second because most owners stop counting right there. Allison didn't. She treated the day of the event as the floor, not the ceiling, and she doubled her cash intake. Doubled. All right. So phase 2, work backwards from the event day on a 4-week runway. All right. So let me walk you through this week by week. 4 weeks is enough time to build a real anticipation without giving your best patients so much notice that the event stops feeling urgent. All right. Could you pull this off faster? Sure. Some of our students have. Could you take longer? Also, sure. But 4 weeks tends to be kind of the sweet spot for mini events. And so that's the frame that I want you working from unless you have a specific reason to deviate. So 4 weeks out, I want you to pull a report from your booking software. I want you to look at your top 50 clients from the last 12 months who've had a peel or bought skincare from you. Not your full list, but your highest converting 50. All right. Assign someone to call or do it yourself and call them personally, even if it's into voicemail. In fact, most of them are going to go to voicemail, but a call is going to outperform any post that you write. Your script here is simple. You're hosting something exclusive. Your spots are limited. You wanted them to hear about it directly before it goes anywhere public. You're treating them as a VIP. Okay. Then 3 weeks out, you're going to get consistent on social media with a mix of promotional graphics, behind the scene footage, and the treatment itself. All right. So you're showing behind the scenes. You're showing a provider talking through what the peel does. You're showing a testimonial if you have one on file. You're showing yourself getting a peel. This is the awareness layer, not the conversion layer. So don't panic if your bookings are not flooding in yet. 3 weeks out, you also want to send an email sequence that moves through the result, the logistics, and the urgency. So we call that gain logic fear. Email 1, what the treatment does and why fall is the season for it. Email 2, the specific date and time. That's the logic. Email 3, spots remaining because scarcity is true. Manufactured scarcity is not. Now, 1 week out, if spots are still open, you want to widen that net. You want to call local partners, community groups, wherever your ideal client spends her time. And look, this is also the week to confirm every registered attendee by text. So you're not guessing a head count 2 days out. Now, they will have their appointments booked. So when you do an event like that, it's unlikely that you're going to have no shows. different than when you're doing an open house and, trying to get a head count of how many people are going to be there. All right, phase 3, and this is the one that almost everybody skips. I want you to track every single attendee and treat the week after as half of the event. Okay, this is what we're doing in the downsell. So for every person who walks through the door, get their name, their phone number, their email, exactly what they bought, what they didn't buy. All right, so this list is the entire engine behind the downsell. So build it in real time at the front desk. Don't try to reconstruct it from memory on Monday. Now for the calls. Within the week, every single attendee gets a call. Your purchasers first, right? You want to thank them. You want to get their peels booked. We're not booking our peels the day of the event. We're actually going to get them all scheduled out after. All right. You want to check in and see how their skin is feeling. That's it. You're not selling again. You're just being present. Okay. Then the non-purchasers, and this call is warmer than you'd think, right? There's zero pressure in it. It's just something like, hey, I wanted to check in and see how your skin was feeling after the event. And then you casually add in that you're extending the ability to purchase a package through the end of the week for those who wanted to experience the peel first before deciding to commit to a package. You're not saying, hey, it's not a sales call. You're just letting them know that that's an option, all right? It's not complicated at all. It's very simple. When you think about a retargeting ad, that's looking at purchase history. When you are calling, a phone call sees the person. When you call someone, you say their name, you reference the specific event that they came to, and you ask a real question about how their skin is feeling, you're doing the one thing that an algorithm cannot do. You are making them feel like the only client that you have. And that feeling is what turns a maybe into a yes. It shows them that you actually want their business. It's also exactly why this only works if you make the calls yourself or have someone from your team make them one at a time. A text blast to your whole list is not the same thing. I know it feels faster, but it's not more effective. And the numbers I just walked you through prove it. I think about Allison here because this is exactly what she did, right? Nobody handed her a script for it. She wanted to do a downsell the day after one of her events. She texted me and she said she was going to try it. Then she texted me again a minute later and said, I don't know if I can pick up the phone. So she found a compromise for herself and she decided to text them individually. That was her baby step. That's it. That's the whole story. She was scared and she reached out anyways from her couch, one person at a time. The money isn't always sitting in the treatment room. Sometimes it's sitting in the product in your shelf or in the phone call that you are too nervous to make. Okay, so let's move on to the next piece of the puzzle here. Now, this is the soft offer to your wider list, the people who didn't attend at all, all right? So we want to take a version of the offer to them, but always keep the best for the people who are actually there. All right. That's the ethical line. And that's what keeps your most loyal patients feeling that like showing up mattered, because it did. You can simply email out a peel package offer. Again, those who attended the event always get the best offer, but you want to send this out and exclude anyone on the list who attended the event. All right. So these are for the people who did not attend. Almost like just a quick offer if they take action in a couple of days. Okay. Now, I want to pause here for a minute because I know some of you are sitting with an excuse right now. Yeah, but my space is too small. Yeah, but I don't have a team to help me pull this off. If you take nothing else from this episode, my dears, know that all of those objections and negative thoughts are some way just related back to fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of judgment. And whenever I'm feeling fear around something, I ask myself one question. I say, if I say yes to this, what am I saying no to? Think about that. What are you saying no to right now in your business because of fear? It's a deep question. All right. Now, none of this needs to be complicated. You don't need a big team. What it needs is a decision. Okay. Pick the goal, pick the date, build the offer, and let the runway do the rest of the work instead of hoping enough people see a random post. So let me know if you decide to do an event in Q4. Send me a DM on Instagram. Tell me what you did in the downsell. Do the downsell, right? If you've already got something on the calendar, perfect. Add this piece to it. Okay, so last week, I teased that something big is coming for this show. It's not a new intro. It's not a new graphic. It's not like just a rebrand of whatever. It is something bigger than that. It is something that, I had fear around. It's something that pushes me out of my comfort zone, but I'm doing it anyways. And I will be sharing more details very soon. So please stay tuned for that. Action creates clarity. A date on the calendar does more than a month of thinking about it ever will. We are all building something right now, whether that's a peel event, a team, or a show that's about to look a little different. I am so excited for you to take this and do something with it. All right, my dears, I will catch you on the next episode. Quick reminder before you leave, if your spa growth still depends on you doing more, it's time for a shift. Watch The System Shift, a free training designed to help spa owners break past that $25,000 to $35,000 month plateau without adding more treatment hours. You'll learn the CEO level systems that help you scale while protecting your time, your values, and your peace. Go to grow.autoaesthetics.com/podcast and watch The Systems Shift. That's grow.autoaesthetics.com/podcast.